Black excellence is being authentically you and living the dreams of your ancestors.
Welcome to the Dripping in Black podcast, where we celebrate Black excellence throughout the Black diaspora. Here's your host, David V. Lewis.
What's up, good people all across the world? This is the Dripping in Black podcast. I am your host, David V. Lewis. And per usual, we have another fantastic guest. Today's guest is Yamashita Paines. Yama, say hello to the world.
Hello, world. Bonjour, bonjour.
All right, and Yama has quite a story for our audience. We like to celebrate Black excellence, and we have a plethora of stories that we've shared so far, but this one has quite a bit packed in it, so I'm excited to jump into it. So we always start off with our traditional question that's simple but loaded, and that is, who is our guest? So who is Yama Paines?
My name is Yamashita Uzcher Paines. I'm from the lovely island of St. Martin. I am a mother. I am a wife. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an artist at most. That's who I am.
Yes, and so the audience will learn quite a bit about you as we go. All right, so let's talk about your beginnings, because I think that part is important and interesting. Tell the world where everything started for Yama.
So I come from St. Martin, and at an early age, at 5, I moved to Canada, and then I moved back to the islands, and then I wanted to be an artist, and my mother at the time was living in the US, in DC. So she was like, there's a great art school called Ellington School of Arts. You have to audition to get in, and all the greats go there. So I auditioned. I came for the summer. I said, okay, let me audition for the school. If I make it, I'll stay. If I don't, hey, I'll go back to France, because at that time I was studying in France. So I got to the school and I auditioned, and I made it in 3 departments, because with Duke Ellington, it's 7 departments. I made in 3. Well, I made it in 4. I did visual arts, museum studies, dance, and theater.
Wow.
So at that time, David Chappelle was in that school. We went to the same school.
Wow.
So he was graduating when I came in. And I came from a background where I was very smart, but what was stopping me in school was the English factor, because I spoke French. But my mother's British, she's from Anguilla, so she spoke English. So I spoke English in the house. But, we spoke patois, but me and my siblings, we spoke Creole and French. So when I come on the summers, every summer I used to come to America, I would learn English. And she was like, you need to lose your accents, because my B's and P's are real strong. So I went to school, I got in, and tragically, I broke my leg. So my ballet career was over. So I was like, you know what? God does stuff, but you have to pivot. So I pivoted towards museum studies, because I love art. And then I like the visual art aspect. So I took classes there. And then they had a program called High Skip. So during high school, I was able to go to Howard and take classes with the greats. So that was a different experience, being from a island that's only 25 miles by 16 miles. You're in DC now. You're in the midst of everything. I lived on 16th Street. I was uptown, honey. So it was just a really different time. It was very difficult adjusting. The whole Farrakhan movement was happening with the Million Man March. So it made me, and then I was there in the midst of hip hop. So I was introduced to hip hop. I was introduced to bombing, or you guys call tagging, graffiti. So I got into the graffiti art.
Wow.
So after I'm a real Caribbean girl. When we say real, we have 3-4 jobs, period. So my mom had my family had a restaurant. So I cooked for the family restaurants. I did hair, because I braided hair at the African Hair Gallery. And I was interning at NPR and the Fisher Gallery. When I said my load was full, it was full. But all those experiences made me who I am today.
Yeah.
After graduating, I continued at Howard, getting my Bachelor's of Fine Arts, got married, had kids, but
Wow.
worked for the Smithsonian.
Mhm.
And just, I started my own line in 2004 called Y.U.P, Your Unique Perspective. And that's where I
Yeah.
am today.
Yeah.
And we started out just doing accessories and t-shirts. My artist community supported me, because I had artist friends. Remember, I was a tagger. So I had
Mhm.
my bomb name was Sweetness.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I want to go back a little bit because wow, you covered quite a bit. So
Mhm.
tell me about what age is all of this happening? So
So
what
I
age are you when you're in
graduated
France?
when I'm in France, I'm 15.
Hmm.
And then I come here, I was 15 going on 16. So it's all,
Okay.
and I was 11th grade. So
Okay.
11th grade to senior. So I graduated 16, 17,
Okay.
and then I continued. I finished Howard by the time I was 20.
Hmm. So at
Yeah.
15, 16, 17, your primary language is what?
My primary language is now is French, but I'm learning English. So I speak English, but patois. So
Mm-hmm.
our English is a little different, broken up, a little
Mm-hmm.
broken up.
Yeah.
But I learned English because of my mother. She's from the British Islands. You have to speak proper. I couldn't speak slang at all in my home. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that, and then she took me to some courses to get rid of the accent because being from the Caribbean or being from the Black diaspora, as soon as they
Mm-hmm.
hear your accent, they lean in and act like you're non-intelligent. They talk slow to you, like, "Are you okay? What's your name?" Like you can't understand English. It's funny, but she wanted me to have opportunities where my accent won't take me.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Uh, yeah. Do you think that's changing in terms of the way people view people with these different accents now? Or is that still pretty much an issue that we have in our culture?
I think to this day, I found it, in even in working here, that accents, if you have accents, I don't think no one like they like the British accent. To them, that's
Mm,
sexy. They
mm,
like an
mm,
Italian accent, but if it's
mm,
anything in a Black diaspora or colored diaspora, it's a problem. Then you're not
mm,
speaking English because you have a thicker accent. I understand any accent, Indian,
mm,
Black, Chinese.
mm,
I understand
mm,
your accent because I take the time, because every language has sound and
mm,
it vibrates different. But if you take your
mm,
time to understand someone, they're saying the same thing, they just have an accent.
mm,
So I think
mm,
it makes, to me, it's a hindrance because people don't see you for what you bring to the table. They just hear the accent and automatically assume you're from a third world country that doesn't have any education.
yeah. Yeah, we got to get rid of they. They always causing problem with the perspective and their
Yeah, but
theories and all of this stuff. Well, let's get rid of the they.
yeah. It's
All
us,
right, so let's
we as
talk
a
about
community. Yeah.
let's talk about so I met you. I was really helping supporting a friend who had a book
Mhm.
signing, and you
Yes.
were there providing, you were catering for the book signing as one of your
Yes.
other jobs.
My
So
other my other thing
let's
I
talk
do.
about Y.U.P. What is Y.U.P for people that are not aware of what Y.U.P is? Tell us what it entails completely.
Yup encompasses everything I love. It's the
Mhm.
three F's. It's fashion, food, and fine arts.
Yeah.
So I'm a multimedia artist and I'm not limited to any canvas. So I bring out the beauty and elegance in everything in the world. So if I'm doing it
Mhm.
with my food, as you saw, I want
Mhm.
it to be a sensory experience. I want it to be
Yeah.
visually appealing. I
Yeah.
want it to taste great. I do
Mhm.
spicy, I don't do hot. So do you
Yeah.
understand the difference? A lot of people,
Yeah.
when they hear Caribbean food, they say, "Oh, it's going to be hot. Oh my God, it's going to be so spicy, I
Mhm.
won't handle it." But my
Mhm.
spice level and taste is just elevated. I come from Grand Cause. Grant, if you've ever been to the Caribbean and you've ever been to any island, you go to French Saint Martin. We have the best food in the world. People come from all over the world to taste our food because,
Okay.
first of all, it's visually appealing. because you have to look with your eyes in order to taste. I'm not going to look at something brown and
Yeah.
dusty and eat it. It just doesn't appeal to me. But it has to
Yeah.
be visually appealing, and then it has to taste. And I want your eyes to roll in the back of your head when you taste my food.
Yeah.
I don't want to brag on myself, but I can cook.
Yeah, I'll brag for you because at the event, like I said, you catered and it had all of the elements you just mentioned. Very picturesque in terms of the setup. The setup I think was unique. A lot of finger food for us to eat, but it was, you know, set up nicely for us to grab it, eat it, and everything that I had was wonderful. So I can brag a little bit for you as well.
Yeah.
All right, so you're a young Caribbean young lady, and what draws you into this world that you're creating for yourself? What is it that kind of gets you started into that?
So I just like when you're multi-talented, it's very hard to pick something to do, you know,
Mhm.
because I
Yeah.
like everything beautiful. So I love fashion. Like anyone who knows Yama, when I step in the door, honey, I'm giving you, I'm popping. It's gonna be popping. You're gonna be looking, doing double takes because I just like that. And
Mhm.
then I love art. Like I love art. I love art history. I majored in that and I work for Smithsonian and
Mhm.
I love it. I love teaching it. I love thinking about it. My kids are well versed in it. They grew up in the museum. They were every
Mhm.
Sunday, we're going to the
Mhm.
museum. We're gonna even today, I still hit
Mhm.
up the DIA.
Mhm.
But I don't know what it is. I want to do everything I love. I think life
Mhm.
is limited. And if you don't do everything you love, and God gives you talents, and you should use them. So, and I love elder care. People don't know this about me, but I love
Mhm.
elder care. Like, I
Mhm.
love seniors. I love, you know how people like little kids? I love older people. So when I bring up my brand, I start doing stuff like when I moved here. Well, that's another story. But when I moved here, I had to pivot because when I moved here, they didn't have any room for me at the
Mhm.
DIA. It was like, what you're
Mhm.
doing, I can't pay you for because I
Mhm.
came here in 2013
Mhm.
and Detroit was changing and they were
Mhm.
thinking about selling stuff in the DIA because they couldn't afford it. Remember that?
Mhm.
So I just couldn't go. So I had to pivot. So I took jobs. You know, we don't have
Mhm.
no shame in the islands. You take something
Mhm.
so you can feed your children.
Mhm.
So I even worked for Shenandoah Country Club, folding
Mhm.
napkins and fixing tables. I like things to be pretty. So I was doing all the stuff and they were impressed, you
Mhm.
know, of my skills. So I think everything I do is it's art based.
Mhm.
It's just a different canvas. So
Yeah.
I love doing makeup. So when I do someone's makeup, I'm just bringing out the beauty that you already have. I
Mhm.
don't enhance anything because you already have that. I just
Mhm.
bring it out. You
Mhm.
know, a lot of people enhance makeup. So they put the makeup on the person looks completely different. I don't want
Yes.
that. You take off that makeup and you're like,
Who is
woo,
this?
who is this? No, when I do your makeup, I'm just bringing what I see out in you.
Mhm.
I don't want
Okay.
you to look strange. I want you to look like you, but
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And same thing with interior design. When I do interior design, I want you to go in the space and be like, wow, this is gorgeous. I want you to
Mhm.
feel comfortable, like you can sit down. I don't want to make a museum out of a house. A lot of people have museum. You know those museums you grew up in. You on that plastic. You know your grandmother had that plastic, and you couldn't even get on the couch because it has to stay together. No, I want everything I put in my home to sit, feel its texture, its layers. Same
Uh-huh.
thing. That's just art. It's food. I don't know how to explain it. Yep, it's
No,
just
you're doing a
different.
fantastic job. It's
Yeah.
crazy because I do think they have a tendency to tell us to focus on one thing, right?
Hmm.
I like to think that the world is kind of changing and evolving, and people are becoming more and more in tune with one thing is not necessarily enough, not fulfilling, and it's
Hmm.
okay to have your eyes on many things that you want to do, and you are actually living that life, right?
It took a while. I would tell you. COVID is the reason I just quit everything and I focused on my joy. During COVID,
Wow.
I had to have brain surgery because I had a tumor,
Wow.
and that just changed my life. I had to stop working in the healthcare industry,
Hmm.
and because I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't physically do it anymore. So
Hmm.
that changed my life, and I was like, okay, what can I do? And my husband's like, you can cook, you can draw, you can sew. I do, you make stuff, like do whatever you want to do. I support you. And I thank him for that. Like he gave me the opportunity to like just focus in on my youngest one and just do what I want to do. And then I just took risks. I said, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try. And
Yeah.
people come to me. I don't tell anyone what I do, really.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like, for instance, the Belle Isle Aquarium stuff.
Hmm.
She called me up and because I did an event for her for
Hmm.
Idlewild Film Festival, and I
Okay.
blew everyone away. And because
Yeah.
I did the VIP catering, and
Hmm.
everyone's like, "Oh my God, this food's delicious. Where's your
Hmm.
restaurant?" I'm like, "I don't have a restaurant. I just cook. I just cook small. I cook a lot of food. I come from a big family. I cook a lot of food, but
Hmm.
my friends know if they come over, there's always leftovers. My kids are
Hmm.
spoiled. They have gourmet leftovers. They were like, their friends come over just to eat. They was like, your mom cooked. I'm coming. So, but what can I say?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just encompasses all of that.
Yeah, yeah. First of all, me and Sean want to be friends now. We want to be one of your friends. We want to drop by and get some of those leftovers.
Oh, I think I'm gonna start back. I used to have a dinner club. I used to have a dinner
Okay.
club. Everyone would
Sign
put
me
like
up.
80 dollars for the month, And once
Mm.
a month I do a fabulous dinner. I just have to know everyone's allergies, and it's like a 5 course meal, and we laugh
Mm.
and we have discussions. During COVID,
Oh.
we had to pivot, and it was outside. Everyone bring their
Mm-hmm.
lawn chair. And
Mm-hmm.
you know how I did like finger foods individually packed, so
Yeah.
we don't have contact, but it was time where you could watch movies in my backyard, and
Mm.
you know, it really
Yeah.
bring community together.
Yeah. That's dope. I like that. That's a
Hmm.
fire idea. Bring that back. I'm all in for that one. But I want to ask this question because I think the audience would like to know this. So you get into school,
Hmm.
Duke Ellington. It leads you
Yep.
into Howard, and then you
Yep.
said you had your children.
Yeah. I got married
Talk
and had
about
kids.
that dynamic. Yeah, talk about that dynamic. You're doing all
It,
these things as an individual, and now
but it's still a
family
mother.
shows up.
Still a
Uh-huh.
mother. You still have to work. You still have
Mm-hmm.
to work. You still got to
Yeah,
take care of those babies. So
that's right.
my daughter is 25 now, and I'm a grandmother.
Wow.
Imagine that. I'm a new
Wow.
grandmother. I say don't say
Wow.
grandma. I'm a grandma because I'm too young. I
Okay.
told her
I like that.
45 is too young. Okay. Grandma. So I had my daughter, and I
Mhm.
still had to continue. I still had to feed her. So I took
Yeah.
other jobs,
Hmm.
I had a job, but being Black and immigrant is very hard in this country. So
Wow.
I had all the criteria because of my pedigree and because I interned at certain places to get into Smithsonian, to get into these
Hmm.
avenues. But I was the first Black woman to do it. And I was
Wow.
young. I was young. I was the youngest in my field, registration conservation. And
Hmm.
they didn't allow me to have those opportunities. They was like, oh, you'll
Hmm.
be a docent. You'll just walk around and tell people about the
Hmm.
painting instead of
Hmm.
leaving me in that space. So you have to make space for
Okay.
yourself as a Black
Yeah.
individual.
Wow.
And I got married, had
Wow.
kids. So I had all three of my children by the time I was 26.
Wow.
And then I had my last one at 36.
Okay.
So I have a 9-year old, soon to be 10-year old. And I got remarried because, young
Hmm.
love doesn't work all the time. But I married
Yeah,
someone,
that's true.
and I was married for 10 years, and it ended in disaster.
Hmm.
So I had to move here. Like it was
Hmm.
just turbulent. I needed a fresh start.
Hmm.
And I don't think being in the DMV was allowing me that
Hmm.
because of that
Gotcha.
tumultuous relationship. So I
Hmm.
moved here to Detroit because of that. And I had support from my mom and my son's godfather, who's Reverend Holly.
Hmm. Okay.
So
Wow. Okay.
Reverend
Wow.
Holly's one of the reasons I came to Detroit. He
Yeah,
said,
that was my next
he was like,
question was what
yeah,
drew you here? So Reverend Holly and anything else that
my
drew you?
mother, yeah, my
Uh,
mother lives here. My mother's
okay.
a reverend too, Reverend Adora. So, and she has her own food company, and she has her own like she owns Cove Cafe, TMT, and Adora's Kitchen.
Oh,
So
we plugging
I
her. We got
come,
to get her on.
yeah, so I come from that background of food and industry, and then, having that really tight-knit family to support
Mhm,
me. And with the help of them, it gave me outlets, a little time to like decompress, have my son,
mhm,
go through my
mhm,
divorce. Like I was ending the divorce, going through that, and then
mhm,
trying to find who Yama is outside of being a
mhm.
mother.
Yeah.
You understand?
Talk talk about how you so you said pivot, right? You come here and
Hmm.
really it's a fresh start. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking about audience that's listening. Where do you start to kind of how do you where do you go first to kind of renew your next path, right? When you get here, you settle down, you calm everything down, then what did you do next?
So my thing was getting my kids to the next level. So all my kids went to the three big schools here: Renaissance, Cass, and Martin Luther King. So I
Okay,
had to
wow,
drive
all
them
three of
back and
them.
forth. Yeah, and having a newborn, and I was just had my newborn son. So I
Mhm.
had to get jobs to fill in between that time. And a
Gotcha.
sister's always has your money. My grandma said you always have to have vex money. You know what vex money is? When you're vexed, you can leave because you already stacked your bread. So don't let the right hand know what the left hand's doing. So I had at least a year worth. I
Wow.
did. I had a year's worth of salary
That's
to
game.
sit on,
Hmm.
because a lot of women are in relationships and you're dependent on this man. My grandmother and my aunts and them taught
Hmm.
me never depend on the man. You're a
Hmm.
helpmate. You're not, that's it. You're supposed to help
Hmm.
him, but he's supposed to take care of you. Period.
Hmm.
Just a little game for the women out there. The man's supposed to take care of you, boo boo. You bring something to the table. You're supposed to bring something to the table. You have to bring something to the table. So a lot of women just
Not the
think
whole
that
table. Don't bring the
no,
whole
don't bring
table,
the whole
the house,
table, because
the
when I
bedrooms, and
worked,
all that.
I worked here and I saw women going to work and the man was staying home playing video games and babysitting his kids. No,
Yeah, that's
mm-mm.
crazy.
So you have to always have your own. So I had at least a year. I knew financially that I could sustain myself here because it's cheaper to live
Wow.
here than it is in DC. A one-bedroom apartment in DC will cost you 1,300.
Hmm.
You can get a whole house in Detroit for the same
Indeed.
price. Okay, a month. So I had at
Hmm.
least a year's worth of finances to like hold me over. So
Hmm.
that gave, and then I used to sell Secret, if you know what that is. So Secret was Dead Sea mineral beauty stuff, and I still sell.
Okay.
But so
Okay.
I did a lot of those. I did a lot of those little mud parties and made some
Hmm.
money. And I always had
Okay.
jewelry. I sell jewelry because everyone loves how I wear my jewelry. I always have
Hmm.
jewelry. So I
Hmm.
sold jewelry.
Hmm.
Um, I met a really good friend. He's a friend to this day. His name is Ali Rizik, and he let me work. I used to sell meat to other restaurants. I was I would sell meat at Adam's Meat, and I'll go to restaurant to restaurant and sell halal meat to all the Arabs in the area.
Okay.
So I did
Hmm.
that, and then I'll from church I met another person, and they was like, "Look, we're looking for a lead coordinator for Fidelis. You think you can
Hmm.
do it?" And I was like, "Sure." So I start working for Fidelis Insurance, helping seniors get insurance.
Wow.
And I was the person, the lead coordinator, and I was in charge of getting all these little events together where
Hmm.
they sign up seniors for insurance.
Hmm.
And then after that, I was looking, my money was going low, baby. My money was, so my money was starting to go low. And I was like, man, I need to do something else. So you know, from a friend to a friend told me, hey, they're looking for activities assistant director or coordinator at Hartford. And I was like, what? I was like, I love seniors. I can use my art and stuff to be an activities director. And I end up
Mm.
going to Hartford and doing that for 8 years,
Okay.
being a
Wow.
coordinator. So I did everything. We had fashion shows, we had music for the seniors, nails,
Wow.
because a sister always does nails, hair, everything.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's what led me to Detroit and what kept me, because my daughter ended up graduating from state, my son now Wade State, worked
Hmm.
for Highland Park Highland Park County. He was IT for Highland
Okay.
Park. And then I have an autistic son who's 20, and I had to make sure that he got where he had to go. And then my
Mm.
9-year old.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot there. Um, Now we're here, 2023. Describe, I got a couple more questions. Describe a day in the life of Yama.
I would love to say I live a life of leisure, but that's not realistic. I do live, I'm blessed. I get up every morning. I do my 3-6-9. Everyone should do this. 3 minutes
Mhm,
of scanning your body, seeing where
mhm,
it hurts, six
mhm,
minutes of thanking God that you're alive,
mhm,
and 9 minutes of meditation.
mhm.
Because when you
369.
pray, yeah, when you pray, it's you telling God what you want. But when you meditate, it's God telling you what you need. So you have to meditate.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to meditate and get yourself focused for the day. I get up, I make
Mm.
breakfast, brush your teeth, do all the stuff you're supposed to do. I
Indeed.
get my I get my son together. I, check on other things, go through my emails, whatever. And I make breakfast and I get him off. And then it's my day. I start my day.
Mhm, mhm,
Um, it depends on the day. I have clients that come and get their hair done because I do natural hair. And there's
mhm.
not a lot of people who are still doing natural hair. Like
Yeah. Lord, don't we
I
know it?
like I like natural hair, natural products and stuff like that. So I do dreads, I do extensions.
Mhm,
I want your hair to look great under it. I love wearing wigs. I like my
mhm,
short hair, but I wear wigs. So I do
mhm,
wigs. And then what else do? I do my runs. Like I do art, like I paint. I'll show you some of my paintings. I paint every
mhm,
day. So I do stuff like this.
mhm. Wow.
Yes.
Beautiful.
I have like stuff I teach.
Mm, okay.
Yeah. I teach. It
That
depends
picture
on
on
the
the wall,
day.
is that yours as
Yes,
well? That's
this
your
is
work?
my Beyonce, the queen.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
I teach. It depends on the day. So my Monday through Wednesday is really focused on my son, but
Mhm.
Thursday through Saturday is a Yama day. So Yama's gonna go out, and I
Thursday,
love,
Saturday.
look, Thursday through Saturday it's Yama day. So because Monday through Wednesday I have karate, I help
Mhm, mhm,
at the school, but Thursday through
mhm,
Friday, that's when I take on most of my clients. I I go up north. I do a lot of interior design up in the
mhm,
Muskegon and
mhm,
um, Big Rapids area. I
mhm,
did a mural there, so I'm finishing that up. That was great.
mhm,
Uh, so that's why I said Thursday and Friday.
mhm,
Get it in. I take time for myself. You know, you got to have a spa day.
mhm.
I
Absolutely.
I get leads. I get leads on what I want to do, what event I'm gonna pick
Mhm,
up, because I get a lot of people that come to me and
mhm,
say, "Oh, I want this," but I have a certain way of doing things, so I want it
mhm,
to be excellent. So
mhm.
if I can't give you what you're looking for, I'm not going to take on your job. I'm just not that person.
Wow.
So
Okay.
so I have a lot of people that come to me and say, "Hey, I want this for 300 people," and I'm like, "What's your budget?" Like, we're gonna make it fabulous. But I do stuff up to 300 to 400 people. I cater for 300 to 400 people at a time.
Mhm.
But
Wow.
I don't limit myself, but I try to do what makes me happy. So it's a
Mhm.
day in my life. It's like I said, it's leisurely, but I do have a lot of things to do in the home. I cook every day.
Wow.
every day. The only day I might
Wow.
not cook is Friday because they like
Mhm.
pizza. But I cook
Mhm.
every day. I make sure my family, that's my expression of love. I make sure my
Mhm.
family's fed. You
Mhm.
know, I go and take care of my friends. I still volunteer at nursing homes.
Mhm.
You know,
Wow.
I think volunteering is key in our environment. And I think our seniors are not getting enough, or our elderly is not, in my culture, they're the most important group of people because
Mhm.
they carry on. They're the ones we're their legacy, and we're carrying on what they taught us. So to me,
Mhm.
seniors are so important. You know, elderly is so important to me because I learned so much from them. Like
Mhm.
my aunts and them were herbalists, and I learned what herbs to take and what natural stuff. So I
Mhm.
do help friends and family like that. So
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. That question was born out of this idea. It seems like you get more out of the 1440 that we get each day than the
you got
average
to get up
person.
early. Look, get up early. Hot if you, it's a proven factor. Most millionaires get up before 6 a.m.
Oh, okay.
It's
Well, I'm
true.
on my way.
Yeah, you get up before 6 a.m. You get. I believe in grind.
Mhm.
Get up. It's a new day.
Mhm.
Grind. Get
Mhm.
ready. It's a new day. You have to
Mhm.
grind. Every day should be a grind. Get up. Get ready. Get dressed. I
Mhm.
believe you should look fabulous every day.
Mhm.
Every day because
Mhm.
I don't give up on life clothes. Everything I put on has a zit to do. You know, gotta have a jank that ain't to it. So you get up, you get dressed, you feel good. If you look good, you feel great, and that's a
Yeah.
proven fact. When you get your hair cut, when you get your nails done, it makes you feel good. So
Yeah.
every day should be that, and
Yeah.
that's what I do. I feel good every
Okay.
day.
So go ahead and drop information if people want to reach out to you. They want you to come in and do one of the 10,000 jobs that you have. How can they reach out and contact you?
So you can always hit me up on Instagram. I'm Yaya Too Fab for you. Yama's Too Fabulous. Yes. You can hit me up on Y.U.P Life. So that's Y.U.P Life Instagram. Y.U.P Y.U.P Life.
Mhm.
At, Instagram. You can hit me up on my emails. yuplife21.com. At gmail.com. What else? You can always, inbox me.
Mhm.
I'm available. I'll
Mhm.
be taking on. I'm about to drop a project with collabing with Yellow Door Brand
Yeah.
because I told you I love fashion. And Yellow Door Brand, we're bringing out a women's line of suits, like suit dresses. So I'll be a model again. Ah! Oh, I didn't even tell you guys I used to model. Yeah, model too. I model
Yeah.
too. So I'm doing that. So you can
Mhm.
hit me up on all those social. Well, I'm always on social media somewhat. So hit me up on social media. Yeah, too fab for you. YAYA2 number 2 FAB number 4 YA.
Yeah. All right. Excellent. Excellent. You actually took care of my next question, which is what's coming up next. I know you got some stuff coming up next,
Oh,
and you
I
kind
had
of mentioned that.
so much things
All
coming
right.
up. I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
So
Whatever you
I'm
want to
doing
share with the audience,
yeah.
tell us.
So I'm doing more original art pieces, and I'm going to do a new t-shirt line and new accessory line. And it's like, so if anyone knows Fulani earrings, they're like African earrings, but this is the modern version of them. I'll be
Mm-hmm.
doing
Mm-hmm.
these. And I love a black girl magic moment. And I
Wow.
do a lot of accessories. So we're gonna have my new accessory line coming out. It's
Okay.
curated by me, everything fabulous, everything bling. I have I'm taking on more clients for interior design. So
Mhm.
you can hit me up for that. I'm taking more. I think I'm gonna move into more doing more weddings and stuff
Mhm.
with makeup. I still do work with Yellow Door doing makeups and makeovers,
Mhm.
and I'm just gonna have a fabulous year. This is my year, 2023. It's just
Yeah.
gonna be fabulous. So
Yeah.
if you want good food, good art, Hit me
Yep.
up.
Yep.
It's an
The
experience.
Y.U.P Life. Y.U.P Life.
The Y.U.P Life.
Now, two more questions. The next question is, in the bio, it talks about moi, right? M-U-A.
Yes.
Talk about that.
So that's my makeup artistry. So I love doing makeup, like I told you. I love to bring out what you have to the forefront. Like, I think everyone's beautiful. They just don't know how to put on correct eyebrows or concealer or whatever. It's just those little things that make you just pop. I just like a little pop. So I do a lot of makeup artistry. So that's another thing I'm going to be pushing this year, because before I didn't have the time. Like I told you, I have more time now. I quit that 9 to 5. I quit the 9 to 5. So yeah, I'll be doing that. So if you need your makeup done, you can always come. I'm the brow queen. You want to get these brows done, you want to, get a little shank, you come hit me up.
Yeah. All right. So we must get to our closeout question. It's a question we ask each and every one of our guests. I love the question because the answers are unique to the guest. Right. The question, you ready for it?
I believe so.
All right. The question is, have you ever been on the cover of a magazine?
Not yet.
You've
Not
been
yet.
in magazines.
I've been in magazines. I never did a cover. I've been in magazines. I did model for Benetton, so I was in magazines, but never the cover. And soon, and one day, very soon, I will be.
Man, you are clairvoyant. My producer S Squared is going to present for you your very first magazine cover.
Look at her, period.
All right. And so that is something that we provide for each and every one of our guests. That is our parting gift. And a big thank you for our guests for coming on and sharing their story with us. So we will get that out to you. We'll print it out, laminate it, and all that good stuff as a big, huge thank you for coming on and sharing your story with us.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Any shout outs you want to give before we close out?
I want to shout out first and foremost God for, giving me all this talent. Thank you. Boom. Shout out my parents for making me, because I have the best parents, Adora and Patrick Paines. Thank you. I want to shout out my hubby, Rahul Reddy, because he's the best. He holds it down. I want to shout out my friends and family. You guys know who you are. And my old co-workers and soon to be new people in this world. I just want to shout out my kids. They keep me humble. They keep me present, keep me on that grind. And thank you guys. I'm going to shout you guys out for having me on and showing back Black excellence still exists.
Yeah, well, the pleasure is all ours. We want to give a big thanks to Yama Paines for joining the Dripping in Black podcast. And we want to remind our audience that the DIBK Drip Shop is open. Go to dibkdripshop.com, cop your latest Dripping in Black merch. We do have a special running right now for Black History Month, 20% off all of our merchandise, right? So we have t-shirts, we have hats, we have mugs, and a plethora of other things, and all of them are driven behind the idea of Black excellence with words and things like that to match. So go check us out at dibkdripshop.com and cop something for you and a loved one. And as always, we want to give a huge thanks to all of our listeners, viewers, and supporters, and our subscribers. And until next time, be kind, be loving, and be excellent on purpose. It is a choice.
Thank you.
Dripping in Black will return February 28th with the multifaceted Michelle Campbell.
You have just experienced a Dripping in Black production.